First of all, I'd like to call upon Dr. Burhan Ahmad to come up here to explain to you the importance of today's event, and the Center for Dialogue is indeed very proud to be part of this organizing group, which includes the African think tank.
What does it mean Africa Day, especially for African Australian descent? This is a history in the making. Australia is embracing us, and we are embracing Australia. So our cultures has to flourish and be shared with everyone.
It's a real pleasure to welcome this afternoon the Honourable Kevin Rudd to La Trobe University. Kevin is a great friend of the university sector and has been a powerful advocate on our behalf for many years. He's also a great friend of Africa and a powerful advocate of African causes over many years, particularly during his time as Foreign Minister. It's also a pleasure to acknowledge Professor Albert Gomez and Dr. Michaelis Michael from the Centre for Dialogue, Dr. Burhan Ahmed, from whom we just heard, and Dr. Apollo Nsabugwa Trobe from the African think tank, Mr. John Bellevance and Dr. Stephen Sibanda from the Africa Day Committee, His Excellency Enoch Nkuruho, the High Commissioner of the Republic of Uganda, and I'm delighted to say, a La Trobe University alumni, and distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure to warmly welcome you all here this afternoon. La Trobe University has a long association with Africa, the African continent. We were one of the first universities in Australia to establish an African Research Institute, the result of which has been to see many students graduate from La Trobe and go on to become eminent leaders in African political and government positions and programs. And some of those graduates are here with us this afternoon. And it's with real pleasure now that I invite him to address us on Africa-Australia relations, challenges and prospects. Kevin.
Thank you to this great university and to this great centre for Dialogue for their kind hospitality in hosting me here today. And I bring you greetings from the People's Republic of Queensland, where I come from. To those of you here in the People's Democratic Republic of La Trobe. We're here to celebrate Africa. We're here to celebrate Africa's people. We're here to celebrate Africa's cultures. We're here to celebrate Africa's economies. We're here to celebrate and think clearly about Africa's future as well. Africa Day began on the 25th of May 1963 with the formation of the Organisation for African Unity, the predecessor of what we now call the African Union. So this Africa Day of 2013, we, along with nations all over the world, celebrate Africa and its remarkable journey over the last half-century. Over the past 5 decades, Africa has come a long way in shaking off its colonial shackles and forging its own bright and confident future. War, famine and dictators that were once commonplace and seemed to be unavoidable in Africa's past have now become a relative rarity. In recent times, the African economy has gone from strength to strength. And despite the weak global economic environment, the World Bank has estimated that the African continent has now largely recovered from the setbacks of the global financial crisis. This relative stability and economic prosperity in the region has led to a considerably improved standard of living. Africa today has 3 mobile phones for every 4 people, the same as India. Very few people know that fact. By 2017, nearly 30% of households in Africa are expected to have a television set, an almost 5-fold increase over 10 years. Nigeria now produces more movies than the United States of America. Some of them better than Hollywood as well. Part of my mission delivering this lecture here in La Trobe University is to convey this basic economic message to the Australian community at large and to Australian business in particular, that Africa is well and truly open to business. Africa represents the future. Asia is the present and will be the future for some time to come. Look beyond the decades and you will see Africa rising just as Asia was rising a couple of decades ago. The Australian Government today allocates 1,000 awards each year to students from across the continent of Africa to come and choose and study the course of their and their government's preference here in Australian institutions. This is a good thing. Good things are therefore happening between Australia and Africa. The start historically was slow. We are now up to medium pace. We now need to pick up the pace even further. I believe whoever becomes the government after the next election, this is a mission in Australia's national interest for the future.
I am totally delighted to be back at Trobe University after 32 years as a student here. So, from Africa, and indeed it is.